I was walking down the street, feeling kindly, when the wind came out your butt to my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see. My hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt to my wig off. People started laughing. They couldn't believe their eyes as my wing flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands. 'Cause the wind came out your butt, and now somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt to my wing off. Baby, drive like shit. You see the car that you almost hit. I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, drive like shit. She just ran through always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, drive like shit. Oh, 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 oh. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass. Talking all that shit, spank that ass till you down like a bitch. So I ain't playing. I'm here to get that. Whoop that ass. It's time to push face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the rain. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Go up like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man. A radioactive gift in his hand. His hand grew 10 times his normal size. That helped him get his money on time. He knew it, the bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen. Making her naked with sex-wave vision. Hit a police station in a single bound. Slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was Superman. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fuck it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my gift hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap. Come to heat the texture of your hair? Who taught you to heat the color of your skin to such an extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad to teach you, you should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God made you.
Welcome back one more again. I am your host, School for Justice, here where we live, love, and laugh and conquer police brutality. We're going to jump on in tonight's topic. Once again, we have here in Arkansas tonight, we're in Arkansas tonight, state representative that is arrested by law enforcement for being outside witnessing another crime. So jump on in, sit back, relax, and let's get your popcorn, get your wine. My slogan, as I say, and as my theme goes, learn to love you for you. All right, appreciate your support. Salute, salute, salute. And we're going to go ahead and dive on into the content.
Interactions. This episode covers the right to film, traffic stops, and obstructing, and is brought to us by Nevada Cop Blocks channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On September 26, 2016, 79-year-old attorney and state representative John Walker stopped to observe and film a traffic stop in Little Rock, Arkansas that had led to the driver's arrest. Officers from the Little Rock Police Department noticed that Representative Walker was filming them from across the street and approached him. The interaction that followed was captured on various cameras.
Mr. Walker, what is your concern today?
I'm concerned. I'm a state representative. It happens to be in my district.
Okay.
I don't have to say anything else. But I'm
being polite, just engaging you in conversation. Right. But I don't need to be rude.
But I'm not. You don't have to be. But I'm here just as an observer. This happened to me, by the way. I've observed some policemen in Pine Bluff arresting a few black boys 10 years ago. You can pull up the case, Walker versus Pine Bluff, and they arrested me for just watching.
I'm not good. You have total right to do exactly what you're doing. Do you understand the circumstances of our stop?
I don't know. I just want to see it. But 5 cops for 1 man? No.
Well, actually,
5 cops for 1 man?
Well, what's going on is both the young officers that you see over there are in training. And there's only 4 of us if you count us. There's only 4.
All right, so we have the state representative out here, and what he has going on, this is a 79-year-old man, right? And he's witnessing a traffic stop. So they have 2 other guys pulled over, and he's just standing across the street filming it. That's what he's doing, filming the traffic stop. And these officers decide to stop in the middle of the traffic stop and go over and approach the state senate. That's what we got going on. They're approaching him, asking him, why you standing here? Why you watching us? What you doing? And questioning him about his presence. All right. So just to give you context to the storyline, smash that like button. I greatly appreciate you as you support the channel.
No, there's only been 4. Both me and this officer are training.
All right.
They're in training. So we ride double.
That's fine.
Or there'd just be 2 of us.
All right.
Now, in this particular stop, this gentleman was pulled over because he doesn't have tags on his car. Okay? So a quick check to see why he hasn't tagged his car led to a warrant that he has for his arrest. That's why he's in that car. He's been treated with nothing but respect from the get-go.
I'm not questioning that. I see the traffic being stopped or he's impeded in a way, but it's not necessary.
Well, if you read the traffic laws, that's an emergency vehicle. So it's allowed to park like that.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying.
But you're a lawyer, so you probably knew that already.
I understand that, but all I'm saying is, it's not a real big deal.
Well, it appears to be.
It's every time multiple people arrest a black man now, and I'm around, I'm going to take pictures.
Sure.
I am, because there have been too many killings. The killings on 12th Street.
All right, so they're having a conversation and dialogue. We can hear the volume on the audio is a little low. So just to kind of reiterate on that or emphasize in case you missed anything, and the officer said that they arrested the guy because he has something going on with, well, they put him over because of his tag, expired tag, or something going on with the registration. Must have been a warrant for his arrest, so they arrested him. And the state senate did ask about why did the officers have the road blocked off with their vehicle out there, and they explained that to them. Hey, that's not against the law or anything like that. There's no violation of any code or guidelines, and so they're continuing to have dialogue. I heard the officer get sarcastic with him. You're a lawyer and all this and that, which he is a retired attorney, but now he's the state representative, right? And he basically is saying, my concern is here in my community, there has been too many African-American young black men being deleted and alive by law enforcement. So he just wants to stand out there and witness for himself. You doing your job. That's not a crime, officers. That's not violation, people. It is nothing illegal to record or go live on your phone of any kind of legal activity. We know these things, correct? All right. So just to reiterate on that dialogue, share your thoughts. I can see your comments on the screen. I would greatly appreciate it, and we can do dialogue, most definitely.
Mr. Walker, have you ever been a police officer?
It doesn't matter about.
No, it does matter.
I've been arrested.
You can answer the question or not. I don't care. But until you walk a mile in the shoes of a police officer, you have no idea what goes on.
No, I know.
You have no idea what goes on.
You don't need.
You're the type of person that goes ahead and tries to exploit this to where it causes chaos and nothing like that. You just try to. You're a race baiter, is what you are. Okay.
You told me whatever you.
I'm just telling you like it is, Mr. Walker.
How can it be? How can that be a race?
Because you perpetuate the situation.
No.
You try to catch officers up short when they're not having any problems.
You're not going to provoke me today.
I'm not trying to provoke you.
So he calls him a race baiter. How is he a race baiter? Just by being an eyewitness to everything that's going on right now. He's politely standing across the street. He's not questioning nobody. He's not approaching anybody, addressing no one. He's minding his business, watching you all with this cam out. So how is that a race bait? Explain that to us, officer. What point of view are you coming from? Or what point are you trying to insinuate, rather? Okay, so this is where we're at, people. And right now they're kind of just going back and forth, because he's explaining to them, both of the officers, hey, I feel the need to record. I am your state representative, up there with the city mayors and all. I'm official, political official. So for this state. And so, yes, I have a right to record. And that's what he's doing. Appreciate you smashing the like button and your support. Much love as you view and enter into the building.
You're the one that's out here trying to provoke police officers, and it's not going to happen either.
Wait a minute. What have I done to try to provoke?
You sat there filming it. And this is not the first time you've done that. You've done this ever since I've been down here. I started in '94. You've been doing this ever since then.
We passed the law.
Okay.
One law that I passed in the legislature was that we could record everything.
I don't care if you record, but you're doing it to provoke. You're doing it to provoke. Because you're a race baiter, sir.
Let me ask you this.
I didn't ask you. I didn't invite you.
So you say you don't care if he records, but he's provoking because he's a race baiter. No, he said, I am concerned about my people here in my community. That's not a race baiter. So now the officers, as we see, are getting hostile. They're getting aggressive, little by little, slow by slow, step by step, to insinuate some type of altercation with this gentleman who's out here exercising his rights and concern in his job, in his field of, or his career field, rather. He's a state representative. People, tell me what you see going on. I appreciate your thoughts.
I didn't invite you over here.
Would you have stopped today and videoed had this been?
Imagine being able to build anything
just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
All right, we're skipping that ad.
A young white male.
I don't know.
That's right.
Because all I know is that I stopped.
That's all I needed to hear. That's all I need. That's all I needed to hear. You're only here to cause trouble. So you are welcome. You are welcome to sit here and film all you want to.
We're hours ago. But look, I didn't know who was in that car.
We didn't know the
but
race.
it's not necessary. No, you can
We
say
didn't know
that.
the race of the person driving the car.
Look,
Okay, and with the darkened window and see who is in the vehicle.
Anytime
Okay,
you arrest people in this area,
it's a 50-50 shot. Boom.
greater than anything else.
All you do is try to provoke people. Okay, that's
But
all
I
you
tell you
do.
what, if you need our assistance, you give us a call. We'll be there.
By all
for you.
means, if you need help, call us. We'll help you.
We'll be there anytime you need our help.
The officers approach Representative Walker as he is filming the traffic stop and question him and his motives, but allow him to continue filming. Although the Eighth Circuit, which has jurisdiction over Arkansas, has not explicitly addressed the First Amendment right to record, the Court of Appeals has favorably cited other circuits that have recognized the right. Additionally, in 2015, Representative Walker co-sponsored Arkansas House Bill 1669, which was signed into law effective July 22, 2015. The act was codified in Section 21-1-106 of the Arkansas Code, which states that, quote, a public officer or employee shall not prohibit a person from using a recording device in a place that is open to and accessible to the general public unless the act of recording or the location of the recording person presents a risk to the physical safety of anyone present. The statute.
So as we see some work that Walker, State Representative Walker did, I think they said back in 2016, there in Arkansas in the state, you know, he did some work as far as on that app with recording in public areas or public recording on your phone and stuff and things like that. So they're just kind of going over it in the documents and what's all the state legislation laws.
Defines the term prohibit as meaning, quote, to interfere with the physical operation of a recording device by threat, duress, coercion, direct order, arrest, detention, or use of force. Section 21-1-106 also includes other exceptions to when a public officer may prohibit the use of a recording device that are not applicable to this situation, and bars officers from deleting electronic data from recording devices and seizing or confiscating recording devices unless they appear to be involved in the commission of a crime or the seizure is otherwise justified by an exigent circumstance. Representative Walker was partially motivated in his sponsorship of the bill by his personal experience, as he was arrested in Pine Bluff, Arkansas in 1998 for observing a traffic stop. Representative Walker successfully sued the city of Pine Bluff, and as part of the litigation process, the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Arkansas, held in the 2005 case of Walker versus City of Pine Bluff that the officers were not entitled to qualified immunity for arresting Representative.
So we heard that he's kind of been through this rodeo before, and we heard the officer say, well, you was out here once before. I haven't seen you before out here recording. You know, and they taking it personal and saying that he's out to provoke people and race bait and all these different, you know, allegations that are the way they feel about him. But he sued before. He sued that county back in 1998. So he's been through this rodeo and he knows exactly what to do. Again, that's their state representative. Right.
Walker, determining that the argument that a silent, non-interfering onlooker created a distraction that prevented the officers from safely completing the traffic stop was, quote-unquote, preposterous, and that no reasonable police officer could believe that he had arguable probable cause to arrest an onlooker who stood at a considerable distance from police officers, spoke only when spoken to, and complied with a request for identification. Subsequently, in the 2020 case of Chestnut versus Wallace, the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals held that the Walker case clearly establishes that citizens have the right, now quoting, to watch police-citizen interactions at a distance and without interfering. The Eighth Circuit also noted in the Chestnut case that, quote,
all right,
every
so we're
circuit...
going to go on down just a tad to get on back to the content.
Back over there. Back over there.
What? We got it right.
Okay, no, you don't. You got a right to go over
This
there.
is our thing.
You're in the middle of my traffic stop. If you want to impede,
Yeah, I'm a traffic stop right now.
you will go to jail. How much I'm playing? Go back on that side, please. One more time and go back on that side. You are obstructing justice. Go back over there where you were at. You can do whatever you want to do. Over there. You want to press it.
Oh my gosh.
So he walks across the street, state representative, and the officers told him to get back over across the way, going back where you was at across the street. And so now he's on the sidewalk. They say he's obstructing. And as we see, he's pulling out the handcuffs. Share your thoughts, and we can talk about it.
After the initial encounter with the officers, Representative Walker and attorney Omavi Kushukuru, who goes by Omavi Shakur, cross the street and attempt to film the traffic stop from the sidewalk. And when they refuse to go back to the other side of the street, they are placed under arrest. Now, while it is fairly well established in Arkansas that citizens cannot be arrested for filming a traffic stop from a distance, the law is murkier when it comes to filming a traffic stop at a closer range, as Representative Walker and Mr. Shakur attempted to do here. In the 1972 case of Colton versus Kentucky, the Supreme Court stated that a state has a legitimate interest in enforcing its traffic laws, and that police officers are entitled to enforce traffic laws without possible interference or interruption from bystanders, even those claiming a third-party interest in the transaction. Similarly, courts that have recognized the First Amendment right to film a traffic stop have not found it to be unlimited, noting officers may impose reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions on individuals exercising their rights. For instance, in the 2014 case of Guerrica versus Begin, the First Circuit Court of Appeals determined that, quote, reasonable restrictions on the exercise of the right to film may be imposed when the circumstances justify them.
All right, so they got mad because there was another outsider, a citizen, whatnot, a guy. He sees state representative recording, so he walks up and starts recording, pull out his phone. And that's what they got mad about, because they seeing other people joining in. So now they pull out the handcuffs on the city councilman. What is this, people? Let's see what's going on next.
The circumstances of some traffic stops, particularly when the detained individual is armed, might justify a safety measure, for example, a command that bystanders disperse, that would incidentally impact an individual's exercise of the First Amendment right to film. Such an order, even when directed at a person who is filming, may be appropriate for legitimate safety reasons. However, the First Circuit went on to conclude that, quote, a police order that is
So we're going to
specifically
skim
directed
on
at
through, because the narrator can be long-winded. Okay? Just boiling down to the actual content here. All right.
on the sidewalk a reasonable distance away from the traffic stop when he was arrested.
In the wake of all that's going on, I'm sure, you know, people have their own opinions on what.
So now they're arresting, handcuffed, detained, and arresting the 79-year-old state representative of their own county. They patting them down, searching them, all for recording behind laws and legislations that he helped bring into effect. This is what we got going on, people. Because when he saw one other person joining in, they were intimidated. And they want to rephrase that as, or refer it to as, provoking. He's provoking a race debate. That's what they say, a race debate, people. Folks, tell me what you see. Because I say it's nonsense. It makes absolutely no sense. So now they're arresting their own city mayor for recording their traffic stop, making sure no one is hurt, harmed, and nobody's rights are violated. That's his job. What you see, people, share your thoughts with me. We could definitely continue the dialogue.
How are you? What's your name, Miss Lawrence?
You just said it.
What's your first name?
Jay.
Jay. Okay. Are you a trainee? Where are the cameras? Where were the cameras before? They weren't always on.
The camera is on.
Sorry, Mr. Walker, just as I did my vehicle.
You don't have to hold me. I'll go myself.
Hang on a second. Jason.
Oh,
Jason, you want him back there?
I think he put the other guy back.
You want him back there with him? All right, Mr. Walker.
just make it. Obviously, he's also a lawyer in the office.
Mr. Walker, if you just lean back against the car right there, we got another unit of transport coming here.
All right, so Mr. Walker has been through this rodeo once before, back in 1998, and he sued that state, and they're aware of it. Plus, he's a retired attorney. He's a retired lawyer, so he's fully aware of the laws. He's exercising his rights, and he's done absolutely nothing wrong. It's very disrespectful. He's a well-known civilian there in their community. He's a 79-year-old senior citizen man, and they arrest him for standing outside on the sidewalk, basically. This is what we got going down. We're in Arkansas tonight. Appreciate your support and smash that like button as you enter into the building. Much love.
I'm sorry, sir, I can't hear you.
You mean lean forward or lean back?
You lean backward.
If I lean backward, I'll be leaning into you.
Sir?
If I lean backward, I'll be leaning into you.
I mean, maybe get the vehicle if you want to. You know better than
Exact situation that
walk up in there. Yes.
He's beating the car. Do you not feel him beating the car?
I want that microphone here
Okay.
for Mr. Walker.
No, you don't have to have me say
Oh, yes,
anything.
sir, I do. Well, you know, you've been doing this long enough. You know you don't walk up in an officer's traffic
I
stop.
was not walking in an officer's traffic.
Yes,
I walked
you were.
across the street and I was standing on the sidewalk.
Sir,
I was standing on the sidewalk. I am not interfering with governmental
Yes, sir, you
operations.
are. Well, you're gonna get
But standing
charged.
up.
So he said he walked across the street standing on the sidewalk. He did not interfere with the law in the line of duty. Because again, they're out there pulling over. They pulled over a vehicle for expired tag or registration, and the guy had a warrant on him. So they're out there arresting other people, right? Other citizens. And so that's why the state representative here pulled out his phone and decided to just record. He just wanted to check out the whole action and make sure everything's going correctly. Because he said his concern is too many of the young men right there in his community have been violated, abused, experienced brutality, deleted and unalived by law enforcement. So he decided to exercise his rights and his job by just witnessing. He was standing across the street on the sidewalk, right? We all saw that. We witnessed it on the up and up, checked out the content. And when he went across the street, continues to standing on the sidewalk, now they want to lock him up. So guess what? They were looking for a reason to lock him up anyway. That's what's going down. They were looking for a reason to lock him up. That's why they went over there and said something to him. The officer said something to this man first. They walked across the street, remember? As we was checking out the content. So now they got him in handcuffs. That's what they wanted to do from the start. But he is a retired attorney again. He's a city councilman, state representative there in a local county. So, and he's been through this rodeo once before and he has sued. All right. And he sued had a lawsuit and sued that county there and the local police department. Share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you.
I understand you're going to charge me with it.
One of the officers informs Representative Walker that he will be charged with interfering with government operations. According to Section 5-54-102 of the Arkansas Code, quote, a person commits the offense of obstructing governmental operations if the person knowingly obstructs, impairs, or hinders the performance of any governmental function, which Section 5-54-101 of the Arkansas Code defines as, quote, any activity that a public servant is legally authorized to undertake on behalf of any governmental unit he or she serves. Notably, the statute explicitly states that it does not apply to, now quoting, obstruction, impairment, or hindrance of what a person reasonably believes is a public servant's unlawful action. Accordingly, while it is possible that a court could find that Representative Walker's refusal to stop filming the traffic stop from the closer vantage point constituted a violation of the state obstruction statute, it is also possible that a court could conclude that the officer's order was unlawful based on the limitations imposed by Section 21-1-106.
So we just heard that, right? That the officer's order was unlawful. That you telling him he can't stand in a public area. He can't stand on the sidewalk. Come on, this man is a veteran. He's 79 years old. He's an OG. He's a retired attorney, been in the legal business, judicial system, career for probably over 30, 40 years. Plus, he's a city mayor. So, of course, he knows better. And you do, too.
The Arkansas Code on an officer's authority to prohibit recording, or that Representative Walker reasonably believed that this order was unlawful based on this law.
Are y'all here to do our transport? Okay, never mind. I'll see you back over here. We got two ones here. He wants to come over and interfere with our operation, so.
No, that is not true.
Are y'all here to do our stop? Yeah, over here. All right, do our transport. Y'all take him. Make sure your camera and microphone is on at all times. All right. Yes, sir. Step over here for me, sir.
I've already been patted down and been.
No, you're fine. I'm Officer Sanders, sir. Just for training purposes, I'm gonna let my officer let you patch you down here and say, before we let you have a seat. All right. I'll be honest with you. You want to put them in that position. I'll see if walk over here for me, sir.
So he's pulling him to the side, trying to boost him up to be his goon and whisper in his ear. Don't want nobody else to hear what's going on or what's what between them, boosting him up to do something. And so now they all got him, putting him in the car. They're arresting him for standing on the sidewalk. People, this is absurd. What do you see is going on? Share your thoughts, because this is the city councilman, state representative. So he's fully aware of the law, and they are too, as I said once before. And now he said, I'm standing on public property, public area. I'm standing on the sidewalk, dude. Nobody's committing a crime. So you're looking for that reason. And therefore, guess what? You found it. He said, and you lied on me. That's not true. The officer, accused him, made an accusation, and he said that's not true. So this was going on, and they're locking him up. 79-year-old man. It's ridiculous, people. Smash that like button as you peep into the building.
My credit was low 4s. Now I'm right at the 7 mark. Listen to that.
We're skipping the ad.
So they're recording from over here on the side while we're doing it. Him and the other guy in his car. And then they decided to walk over right in the middle of the cars. And they're like, don't come over here. You're impeding in our operation. Move away. I'm not impeding. And then this guy said, you got a right to be here. So.
Okay, so what she's mad about is, as I said earlier, once the city councilman, Mr. Walker is his name. So once Walker went over there, right? And he actually hadn't even went over there yet. He was starting to approach across the street. She mad about that there was another guy, another bystander that pulled up and pulled out his phone and started recording. So now they feel like he's inciting a riot. Other people follow the leader. Other people or citizens of the community is starting to join in. They're following the lead because this is their city councilman. And that's what they got mad about and locked him up. They arrested him.
Both Representative Walker and Mr. Shakur were charged with obstructing governmental operations. However, on September 27, 2016, the day after the arrest, Little Rock Chief of Police Kenton Buckner sent Representative Walker an apology letter indicating that he should not have been arrested. Chief Buckner also stated that he had opened an internal affairs investigation into the incident and that the charges against Representative Walker would be dismissed as...
So he went to Internal Affairs Division, started internal affairs investigation. People, that's who we go to. When your rights is violated, you go to that local police department, you go to their internal affairs department to file a complaint. Those are the proper steps and protocol to take to go over their head to bring attention to address the matter at hand and to get just due, to get justice. All right. So internal affairs, and he's receiving an apology because this is the city councilman, people. He's not just the average Joe Blow. This man, 79-year-old man, is their city councilman there in their local county. And you go to internal affairs, people, school for justice, so we can get our due justice. Smash that like button as you come into the building. Appreciate you. See you out there, and let's do dialogue. We can definitely cover the content
as soon as possible. That same day, Representative Walker sent a letter to Chief Buckner stating that, quote, "I cannot in good conscience accept your apology for the unlawful actions of the arresting officers yesterday." Representative Walker also pointed out that charges against Mr. Shakur had not been dropped and asserted that he would not accept this disparate treatment. On September 29th, 2016, prosecutors dropped the charges against both Representative Walker and Mr. Shakur. Sadly, Representative Walker passed away on October 29th, 2019 at the age of 82. Overall, the Little Rock officers get a C- because although it is possible...
And so now he's just going to grade what all went down. That's our narrator, people. And so give me 1 second here. All right. That's why it's important to know our laws. That's why I'm here. That's the purpose, my cause, my passion. And so he had his investigation and the case and everything in the making. He had sued prior before, had the same issues with a different county before there, and he won his lawsuit. But he was an elderly man. He was 79, and eventually he passed away before they could finalize on the whole case. But share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And this is why we're here, to divide and conquer, to rise above the occasion, to stand on top of our A game, to know our rights and to use them because our voice is our power, and to conquer police brutality. Until next time, I am your host, School for Justice. Glad to have you tonight, where we live, love, and laugh and conquer police brutality. And until next time, folks, let's continue to speak truth to power. Salute.